Hi, I'm Rob and it's class trial time, this time with Archmagus. Now these are really good to get to level 100 if you can, and if you don't have it on level 100 yet, this is a really good chance to earn some extra XP towards it, because everything you buy from the shop gives you extra Archmagus XP at the same time, and you get that automatically. And you also get other cool stuff like a potion of enchantment, enchants all allies at the start of the battle for this event only. More gold, more class sigils, more troops, and obviously that essential Archmagus XP. And you get it every single tier that you buy as well, so really good. Now, tier 5, there is a weapon, Reflection of Good. You do not need to buy it from here. It's going to cost you a lot of gems if you're a newer player. And you're going to get this weapon anyway. It is the Mythic class weapon. And you'll get this once you've achieved 250 class wins in Archmagus. So save your gems. Right, in the reward section, more XP. So every single time you complete a round, you're going to get extra XP towards Archmagus, as well as extra other rewards at the same time. So go as far as you can in this. It's really cool. Right, onto the team itself. I'm going to go for this team here, but I'll show how you can use alternatives. Mystic Manuscript is a really cool weapon. Explodes purple gems based on your magic level. Grants a random status effect to all Mystic allies, which is going to be the entire team, and has a summon at the same time, which can be pretty useful if we lose one of our troops at some point, which hopefully will not actually happen. Now, just because this is a Archmagus class trial doesn't mean to say you actually have to be in Archmagus class. You can be in whichever class you want. I've decided to be in Doomsayer for this because I don't have it on level 100 yet, so you can still get some extra XP towards these kind of battles, so good to do so. The traits I'm going for in this are not too bad. 25% chance to deathmark a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems is cool. And explode a purple gem at the start can give you a nice quick start if luck is on your side. Talent trees I'm going for resilience, purification, fast healing, spawn of hell, life siphon, pretty handy. That's a basically 4 life swing every single 4 or 5 match, because you take life from the enemy and give it to yourself, which is quite handy. And Swift Curse, death mark a random enemy at the start of battle, is really cool as well. Somebody could just die instantly on the other side, which is really quite funny when it happens. Anyway, if you were going to go stay into Archmagus class on this, let's go back. I'll show you what I'd pick if I was going to use Archmagus for this. That's a really handy one anyway, that Mana Flare, gain 2 bonus mana when matching purple gems. But I'd go for something like Magical Shield, a Dark Hunger, because we're going to be collecting a lot of purple on this, steal 1 life from the first enemy. And that's really useful. Quite often an enemy is left on 1 life, and it's just quite funny to just collect a purple and watch them pop their clogs. Anti-Magic Sphere, always useful. Mana Source, start battles with 50% mana. Antiquity, Lightning Strike, and Mystic Channel. In fact, I might switch to this because I like the 50% start. So I will. Just to show how it works with this. Now I'm going to go for 2 times Vanya Soulmourn. She's really good. Deals damage to all enemies, boosted by blessed allies, and summons a Silver Necropolis troop. So we've got summons all over the place here. We've got 3 summon possibilities with these first 3 troops here. And bless a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches if you have that 3rd trait, which is going to help the damage of her spell. In 4th place, I have the underused Wisp. Now, not a lot of people use this, but it is so underrated. It is crazy. I've used this in Guild Wars teams before, when I've won battles without giving the other side a single turn, and against a Goblin team as well, I think it was, turning the tables on them Goblins completely. You can really mix it in because it's a really cool troop. It does quite a lot. First of all, it's stealthy, so it can't be targeted by spells. It has a 75% start with mana, so you just need a small amount of red normally, in this team in particular, to get it going. But it dispels all enemies. Now that is a big deal. That removes positive effects such as Barrier, Enchant, Enraged. So anybody that starts with Barrier or gets Barrier, gets Enchanted, you cast this and it just takes all that stuff away. That's good on its own. But then it charms a random enemy, which deals damage equal to the person who you targeted to the troop above and below them. It deals its attack as damage to the troops above and below. It's really, really good. and jumbles the board and gains an extra turn. So you don't have to jumble the board straight away, obviously. You can cast a Wisp when you think there's no real other option. The board alignment isn't particularly in your favour. So you can cast Wisp, dispel all enemies, charm them, jumble the board around, and because you get an extra turn, you could maybe make that jumble the board into your benefit, get a skull hit, get a 4 match. Really, really cool. I like Wisp. Right, if you don't have a Vanya, then you can pop in Enchantress. She deals damage to all enemies as well and enchants a random ally. And a couple of outstanding points about her as well. She is really rather good. And apart from that, yeah, you can even use Wool of Nausea in this if you have this mythic. It's going to actually work quite well in this. Steals 3 magic from all enemies, then it deals magic plus 1 damage to them. So because she steals magic first, your damage you're going to do is actually going to be more than what it says there initially, because you steal magic first, then deal that damage. So she's not the greatest mythic, but does actually have some sort of a place in this team. All right, the banner for this, I'm going to go for the Summer banner from Bright Forest, +2 green, +1 purple, -1 blue. So let's jump in. So we're looking to get our Mystic Manuscript up first if we can. That'll be ready next round. We can cast that. That's going to charge the team up hopefully. Got to wait one more round. See here, you can cast Wisp if you like. There's no real point because the enemy's going to die in the next round, but we'll just cast Vanya. And every time you cast Mystic Manuscript as well, it's really cool. You give a status effect to all Mystic allies, so all the team will get a status effect every single time we cast Mystic Manuscript. Grab green, because that is our +2 benefit from the banner, so we get that. That's going to get that charged up the quickest. A little bit unlucky again with our mana collection there. Let's finish off collecting for Vanya. You're not going to need Wisp for a while in this team really. It's all about charging up the Vanyas really, or your Enchantress, whatever you use. Not Enchantress, the other one. Forget her name now. You know the one. The one with the 2 good points about her. Oh, it was Enchantress, because I was thinking of Elven Bard as the other one. Oh, these similar looking mystics. So yeah, as soon as we do these last 2 fights, we'll be able to collect the first set of rewards. Cast our damage to all the troop. Now if you've got 2 of the same colour troop, like here I've got 2 Vanyas, and if you were using Enchantress, then she's going to be the same colour as well, then you're better off charging them both up at the same time when you get to the stage where you need to cast more than one. Like at the moment, obviously I'm going to wipe out the enemy in one go because I'm doing 64 damage to all and their combined life and armor is nowhere near that. But let's imagine they're on 100 each. Then as soon as I start charging my team up, as soon as the first Vanya is ready, I don't actually want to cast her straight away. It's better to get the second one charged at the same time, because otherwise you're going to cast the first one and then you're not going to be able to collect any mana for the second one because the first one is mana blocking the second one, because obviously they're the same troop. Let's cast our Wisp just for a laugh. There we go. Cast Wisp, we've charmed the enemy, we've swung that around, put that in our favour and managed to get a 4 match out of it. Which is not so relevant now, but it certainly comes in handy later on. Like I say, you can keep an eye on the enemy as well. Take a look at them, see if they've got enchant, see if they've got a barrier. And save Wisp for that. You can just cast Wisp whenever you just want to take away a barrier or stop their enchant. Especially barrier, because barrier is a thing that makes games longer sometimes when the enemy's got a barrier or something. Your first hit on them isn't going to do any damage whatsoever. cast Wisp first, take them barriers away. You get an extra turn anyway, then cast your weapon or your damage dealer. The job is done. I'll just do a few more fights because I think you can see how this is going to go. Might pause it and jump forward a few levels. That's what I normally do. Let's show how it performs a bit later on when you have to cast both our damage dealers. Queen Titania. See here, like for example, like Wisp is quite handy. I can collect this if I want, but if I want to cast Wisp first, I can charm the enemy, swing that around, manage to get 4 match out of it then. Doesn't always work out like that, but that's made that end in that round then, basically, all on my turn. Ordinarily would have had to do something else and hand the turn back to the enemy. Wisp is really, really useful. Grumpy Queen Isabel. Let's cast Wisp. Swing that around. Let's grab that. Bish bash bosh. Yeah, it's a very good class, Archmagus. Don't know if you saw the video I done yesterday on I think of the top 5 classes. That will vary upon what you're doing in the game. The class, literally, whatever you're doing, each one is better than the other based on certain things, and whatever you're doing sometimes is really relevant to the class. So, as I explained in that video, that will vary upon whatever you're doing. Elementalist, fantastic if you're against really, really high level opponents. Alright, I've jumped forward a bit. Both Vanyas are really good at finishing off the enemies when cast back to back. You can chuck on a couple of medals if you want to increase the damage she does as well. And Wisp is really coming in handy as well. It's like, as I said, it's an unused troop. You're really, really useful. Useful for dispelling the enemies, giving them some damage to soften them up a bit. When you don't see a particularly good move on the board, you can just cast it anyway and get an extra turn, and often it actually results in a 4 match or something like that anyway. Really, really cool. And perfect when the enemy's got barriers and stuff like that. Cast Wisp, you got an extra turn, then cast your damage dealers. It takes away all their barriers and stuff like that. But we don't have to cast it now. We'll just charge up the second Vanya first, cast them back to back. Obviously this depends upon your damage level that you do with your Vanya or your Enchantress, how much damage you do, how often you have to cast them. It's still going to be the best way to go about it overall. You can obviously change the weapon to a damage to all weapon as well if you like. Give yourself 3 different options of damage to all is a decent way to go about it. Well, let's get this. That's going to give me yellow at the same time. Cast this one now because the second Vanya's ready on the next round because it's enchanted. Boom shakalaka. Right, last one, unless we get a Valraven come along. And there it is. As if by magic. You wish for extra sigils and it comes along. I wish for 1,000,000 gems. Somehow I don't think that one's quite going to work. Right, see this is where Wisp is really handy. There's no purple for me to collect, no yellow. Well, there's a yellow, but it's not much cop. Don't need to collect red, but I'll cast Wisp, soften up the enemy a little bit, and we have a 4 match out of it. In fact, we have 2, and that's got up my Vanyas. So Wisp is super cool. Love Wisp. Right, let's make this the last one, then just finish off this Queen map. Let's grab this into a 4 match. Have a look around. Let's cast Wisp, do a little bit of damage. See if we get any luck. It's not too bad. We'll take that purple. Cast our Mystic Manuscript, charge up the rest of the team hopefully. Then cast Ivania's back to back, because again the second one is ready on the next round because of the enchant. And we killed 100 troops at the same time and got some gems. All good stuff. Right, let's grab some rewards. So we've done 5 rounds, so we're going to get all this extra XP if you need it, all the extra gems, a bit more gold, all really useful stuff if you're a newer player. There it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, why not bash that like and subscribe button. I'll do all different teams for the world events, the Towers of Doom and invasions and class trials and who knows what else, an awful lot of extra stuff. All good. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.